Let's be real, every anime fan wishes they could watch anime all day, but life just doesn't work like that. After all, there's work, there's responsibilities, and if you've got a social life, well then good luck trying to find the time to binge anime. I used to struggle to find time to watch the anime series I wanted to watch, but after a while, I figured out a few tricks to save time and still enjoy my anime. Sounds crazy, right? Trust me, it works. Stick around and I'll show you how, even if you're trying to catch up on One Piece. Number 1. Google the filler episodes so that you avoid them. A lot of long-running anime have episodes that aren't adapted from the manga and they don't affect the plot in any way. They're mostly mid, but some of these episodes are pretty good, like the Bleach episodes, if you know what I mean. If you want to follow the main story to the end and you don't want distractions, you can search for filler list on Google. A lot of websites have filler guides which can tell you the episodes that are filler and the episodes that are canon, and honestly, these sites are very convenient for people who binge anime like me. Take for example, One Piece. The amount of filler in One Piece is probably 10%, which doesn't seem like much, but when you think deeply and realize that One Piece is over 1,000 episodes, you realize that 10% of 1,000 episodes is 100 episodes, which can be enough to watch Code Geass, Vinland Saga, and half of Fully Cooley. You can watch 8 anime with 12 episodes in that time, and you still have about an hour left over. Naruto is about 40% filler. The main series of Bleach before the 1,000-year Blood War arc has about 40% filler, and 84% of Boruto is filler, which is crazy, and that's the reason why I won't recommend it to anyone. Number 2. Skip repeated scenes, repeated flashbacks, and useless dialogue. Every time I saw the swing scene in Naruto, I was like, again? Seriously? When are you going to stop reusing that scene? There's even a running joke among Naruto fans that the swing has more screen time than Tenten, which might actually be true. One Piece is a specialist in stretching a lot of episodes with useless dialogue. They stretch their episodes to the limit, and after the end of the episode, you realize that there was little progress made during the episode. A lot of long-running anime series are guilty of using these techniques to stretch the length of an episode, and it's obvious that they are trying to buy time. If you see a scene that's been repeated a few times, or if you see a flashback to a prior event that you have seen a lot, skip it. It can save you valuable time. Also skip the useless dialogue. You can use the time you've saved to watch the next episode. Number 3. If the episode has a review of the previous episode, skip it. Anytime I saw previously on One Piece, I got so angry. I mean, why are they doing this? Use the time for more content in the episode, but they keep doing it again and again and again. It's a valuable time wasting technique that has wasted time for over 1,000 episodes and over 20 years. I think the only One Piece episode that didn't have a preview in recent memory was the Gear 5 episode, and they used a lot of time wasting techniques to stretch that episode to the maximum. There was no progress made during that episode. Some anime episodes use the review to eat up time. If you take out the review of the previous episode of a random One Piece episode and take out the preview of the next episode, you'll be left with an 18-minute episode. Skipping a review and the preview can save you some time, so if you're in a hurry, then it's better to skip them. You're binging an anime and you're already going to watch what happens next, so what's the point of watching a preview of the next episode? Number 4. Skip the opening and ending to save some time. When I'm watching a new anime, I listen to the opening and ending of the anime, and if I like them, I listen to them, and if I don't like them, I see it as 3 minutes saved. You can do this too. Both the opening and ending of an anime are usually 1.5 minutes, so when you're watching an anime, listen to the opening and ending for 2 episodes, and if you don't like them, you can skip them and save 3 minutes of time for at least 8 episodes. That's 24 minutes saved, and coincidentally, an anime episode is usually about 24 minutes. You've just saved yourself a lot of time. If you're in a hurry, you can just skip them entirely, but I think it's a waste to skip them. If you skip the opening and ending of an episode of One Piece after skipping the preview and review, you'll be left with a 15-minute episode. You successfully cut down the time you need to watch an episode of One Piece from 24 minutes to 15 minutes without skipping the useless dialogue. That's just crazy. Toei Animation, you have some questions to answer. Number 5. Try to multitask. This is my area of expertise and I'm a god at this. I usually cook while I'm watching anime, and honestly, it makes the waiting time between the steps I take while cooking a lot shorter. Think of it as killing 2 or more birds with 1 stone. If you are doing a task that requires you to wait for a while and it isn't brain demanding, watch an episode of anime in between. For example, if you are cooking, you can watch an anime episode during the time you're waiting for a particular step to get done. But be careful to set a timer if it's something like cooking. It's easy to get absorbed in the anime and ruin the food you cook. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. If you apply this strategy, you discover that you complete 2 tasks in the time it takes to complete one. You're on your way to achieving time mastery. Number 6. Manage your time efficiently. If you must watch anime every day, allocate a particular number of hours to watch anime. If you don't skip the opening and ending of an episode, you should watch 6 episodes of an anime in 2.5 hours and 12 episodes in 5 hours. You can save even more time if you use the strategies I taught you earlier. You don't need to binge a new anime series or season every day. You can do it during the weekends when you have a lot of time for it. On the weekends, you can spend 6 hours, 12 hours, or even 24 hours watching anime. If you need to finish a long-running anime, I'd recommend you watch 3 to 4 episodes per day. With time, you'll catch up because you'll be watching 30 to 40 episodes on a 30-day month. That's 360 to 480 episodes a year if you only use this step. Combine it with the steps I mentioned earlier and you'll watch even more episodes. So these are the strategies you can use to save time binging an anime series. I use One Piece as an example because it's the longest running mainstream anime out now. And if it seemed to you that I was standarding One Piece, the anime deserves that standard because of the pacing issues and time wasting tactics which make it exhausting to watch. I'm a huge fan of One Piece, but honestly, it's exhausting for a new fan to catch up to the current episodes of One Piece without using these strategies. It'll make it easier for One Piece to get new fans, and it'll make it easier for them to catch up and join us in waiting for a 15-minute episode every week. Or just read the One Piece manga instead. The animation doesn't get good until later in the series, so don't hurt your eyes. Maybe you can switch to the anime after chapter 900. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and if you're looking to save time watching anime, you probably have a job, so if you're interested in knowing how anime teaches you to really achieve work-life balance, then you can watch this video. Have a great day.